Hello there. This is Cindy at cindybdesigns.com. The card on the right is the card that we'll be making today using abstract impressions, which was my giveaway last week, and I will talk about that more towards the end of this video. That is my sample card. On the left is what the stamp set looks like of abstract impressions. And there are my colors. I have Grapefruit Grove and Flirty Flamingo there, and Granny Apple Green. It looks like I have two shades of green because I did some stamping off. And I also used one small die, that one from Needle and Thread, just as a little accent piece for this really super clean and simple card that we're going to make here that you can mass produce 100 of them in an afternoon. My complementary cardstock is Gingham Gala, the 6x6 DSP. So right there we had Granny Apple Green, Balmy Blue, Pacific Point, and Basic Gray. I'm using that for my sentiment. Both my panels are going to be 4 by 4 1/4 for the inside. One more time. 4 by 5 1/4 for the inside and the outside. So I inked up the solid greenery image in Granny Apple Green, laid it down. I'm moving it over about 1/8 of an inch and then doing some not stamping off, but I'm using what's left on the stamp to get a second impression, and that lightens up the color real nice. And I'm not going back and forth with stamp images and colors all the time, and that's just one way that you get more mileage out of your ink and out of your colors, is to do, I guess it is stamping off, but you're not taking the ink off on like a scratch piece of paper. You're letting it go on the project that you're currently working on. So I laid that across the bottom all the way. And again, the name of the stamp set is Abstract Impressions. The flowers are not going to line up perfectly on top of all the stems. The second impression that we put in the flowers will, because it's designed that way, but these flowers are not. So I have Balmy Blue there, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to go all the way across. I'm not going to do any stamping off. I'm just going to get that one color down there. So I was thinking of some fun color combinations. Mango Melody, Lovely Lipstick would be nice. And you can use any color combination that you want in cardstock and really get different results in the looks every single time. It's all about the colors here and what you can do. So there is a little accent stamp to this, and in looking at the stamp set, there's a ton of accent stamps. I have Pacific Point, which I inked up way too much that first time around because that's a very deep, rich color. And it's in our brights category. And this is where I did spend a little bit of time lining it up because I just didn't want a straight Pacific Point stamp going out somewhere. And I'm going to go all the way across doing that too. And I wish I would have mixed up the colors myself a little bit, but you know, next time around, I just had to get this done. And that is what we are looking like so far. There is a foam mat underneath that comes with the Stamparatus underneath that, so I was able to use my blocks, and I use my paper piercing pad a lot too. So again, there's more images of the abstract impressions, so you can see what you get. In the top 3 large flowers there, you can keep laying down color one after the other, either using the same color or pulling in 3 different colors. I already had my my sentiment for this card on the door of my Stamparatus, brought that over. I'm inking it up with Basic Gray, and I'm just laying it down, getting it down really dark. I didn't want to do Memento this time because I already have that Pacific Point in there, and I wanted to keep it springy and happy. And that is what we look like there. Next off, I am going to be pulling in my Big Shot and that little die from Needle on Thread. It's like a cross stitch, and if you want to get real fancy or just add more to the card, get some needle and thread or embroidery thread and then hand stitch that all the way across. You don't have to do it, you can do it all the way across and like use all your stitches to the right or all of them to the left or a full X stitch. And that was a good one too because it lined up perfectly from left to right underneath that sentiment, and it just gives it like a nice little accent. And I'm pulling off my little post-it note tape, and that is what we have. So moving along here, I am hoping to grab my, yeah, this is moving really slow in front of me. I'm going to just add some snail to the back of that, get that adhered down. And what else do we have going on? We have the new Stampin' Storage by Stampin' Up out. We have the new Big Shot coming soon. Redesigning the paper trimmer. Just a lot going on. I put out in my newsletter, so if you want a copy of that, go ahead and shoot me off an email. And there is the front of our card. Rolling back a little bit, I left the inside of it blank because the sentiment is generic enough to where I can just grab something real quick, put a sentiment on the inside, and then go ahead and give it to whoever I need to give it to. And I do that a lot too, rather than a Stamparatus. If it's something that simple and my cardstock is long enough, I'll just go ahead and lay it down at the bottom and use the top of my desk to get it all straight. When you're trimming off cardstock or DSP, you want to flip it over and use cardstock as your cutting guide so it's all nice and even. And if you mess up, take it over to the trimmer. It's really that simple because no one's going to notice a sliver off a side or two. Get an adhesive down on that. That goes for the inside. And those are pretty much going to be our cards. So if you need anything, again, please shoot me off an email. I invite you to hit like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm bringing in both the cards that we did. On Saturdays, I just do really simple stamping. I hope to step that up in the future a little bit because I'm just now getting back into doing videos. So thank you for joining me today. Have a great weekend. God bless. I will see you next week. And here's my giveaway this week of Serene Garden. Leave me a comment. Have a great one. Bye.